almost like we're in a trance, like we're sleepwalking through life, that we find ways to cancel out our dreams. And I think that but is a dream killer. That a lot of things that we want to do, a lot of places we would like to go, a lot of things we would like to experience, and we just stop at but.
When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." It made an impression on me, and since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something.
Betray your destiny and see how long it takes you to be drowning in a storm. It'll happen immediately, and of course it will, because what's calling you to be your best is exactly the thing that's pushing you forward to manifest yourself most fully in the world. It's what you need. You run away from that, the boat's going to start to rock very, very quickly. Well, what does that mean? Well, what else would come out of chaos? You know, if you fall apart and then you put yourself back together, what is it that comes back out? Well, at least you're in better shape than you were before, you know, and then maybe you do that 20 times in your life or 50 times, and you do it voluntarily.
Your purpose is easy to you. Your purpose comes natural for you. Your purpose brings you energy. Your purpose brings you life.
It's okay not to have a grand dream. It's okay not to be able to do that yet. It is very okay not to be extraordinary. You don't need that to love yourself. But what you do need is purpose. What you do need is to take that time to define what is it that you're trying to do with your life? Why do you matter? What is it that you're going to be able to bring to yourself and to the world? And it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real.
What would you like to do? What do you believe you've been destined to do? What talents, skills, giftings, and abilities do you possess to support your desire to do it? What are your motives for wanting to do it? Why do you want to become what you are looking to become? What steps are you taking to become and to live the life, to make the dream a reality? Because this world needs your purpose. And so every day you got to give it up. Every day you got to give this world what you got. Every day you got to give everything you got to this world, because that defines your legacy. What are you going to leave behind?
Let today be the start of your journey to success in a life built on your power, not anybody else's. Let yourself be your future, and let this start to define the legacy that you'll be proud to leave behind.
I don't think you determine what your purpose is. I think you discover what your purpose is. There's a difference. Determining indicates deciding. And I don't think you decide. I think if you go about it the right way, you discover it. Like there's some people that should be painting all day. They're great artists. I think Michelangelo was obviously a great artist, a great sculptor. I mean, that was his purpose in his life. Well, I believe my purpose is doing what I'm doing. Your purpose is why you get out of bed in the morning. Do you know why you get up? Well, most people say, well, it's to go to work. Well, that'd be a good reason to stay in bed. You know, you say, well, everybody's doing it. That'd be another reason to stay in bed. If you're ever doing what everybody's doing, you're probably going in the wrong direction. Your purpose is your reason for living.
It's easy to look at those people who have succeeded and assume that they just got lucky. But invariably, behind the facade of overnight success is an unwavering commitment and definiteness of purpose that makes successful people able to do whatever needs to be done in order to achieve their goal of financial prosperity. Whether your dream is to become a famous dancer or to become free of financial worries, you must set that goal as your definite major purpose and refuse to allow anything to pull you from that course. To reinforce the point, consider this. They who have no central purpose in their life fall an easy prey to petty worries, fears, troubles, and self-pitying, all of which lead, just as surely as deliberately planned sins, to failure, unhappiness, and loss. A man should conceive of a legitimate purpose in his heart and set out to accomplish it. He should make this purpose his supreme duty and should devote himself to its attainment, not allowing his thoughts to its attainment, not allowing his thoughts to wander away into ephemeral fancies, longings, and imagining. Erratic action toward your goal will produce an erratic result. Our card reminds us that willpower is but the unflinching purpose to carry a task you set for yourself to fulfillment. If I set for myself a task, be it ever so trifling, I shall see it through. How else shall I have confidence in myself to do important things? What is it that you most want to achieve? Whatever it is, decide your goal and remind yourself of it every day as soon as you wake up. Make everything you do lead to that outcome. Winners are people with definite purpose in life. Take action. Lack of decision-making skills is near the head of the major causes of failure. So if not knowing what your definite major purpose causes obvious challenges toward its attainment, then changing your mind every 5 minutes about the target comes a pretty close second. After all, how can the invisible forces of the infinite intelligence mobilize to convert emotionized thought into reality if you keep changing your mind? Procrastination, the opposite of decision. The opposite of decision is a common enemy which practically every man must conquer. Procrastination is motivated by shame. People put off tasks, either consciously or unconsciously, because they believe they will experience shame if they complete the task. Perhaps they feel their efforts won't be good enough, or that their position of authority could be questioned if their attempt is unsuccessful. It is therefore safer to procrastinate and blame external sources for lack of results than to try and have to admit failure. Procrastinators very often see themselves at the top of the mountain, but they don't want to learn how to climb. But what if it's not fence? Sitting, that's slowing you up, but inability to make decisions in the first place. It has been thought that those that make decisions quickly are working on some sort of sixth sense, and certainly. However, cognitive psychologist Gary Klein, with his studies into decision-making processes in life and their situations, shows there is something less esoteric at play too. He concluded that far from being weighed down by knowledge, information, and memories, those with experience in a certain area were able to assess situations and mentally simulate their outcome faster than a novice could get a notebook out. Experience and understanding allow decision makers to recognize situations and quickly commit to a course of action based on that extensive knowledge bank. So building information, knowledge, and experience, often through failure, is an essential piece of the success puzzle. There is no more miserable human being than one in whom nothing is habitual but indecision.
Take full responsibility for your life. Accept where you are and the responsibility that you're going to take yourself where you want to go. Someone said we have two primary choices in life. We can either accept conditions as they exist, or we can take the responsibility to change them. See, a lot of people want to exempt themselves from taking responsibility. All they want to do is talk about the problem. Every time you see them, they'll tell you their story over and over and over and over again. No. You want to take responsibility for your life. I got me here, I can get me out of this. And I'm getting out. I'm not going to be a volunteer victim. George Bernard Shaw said there are two kinds of people in life. You know, he said those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that don't know what happened. And he said the people that get along in this life look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they make them. They create them. So part of beginning to get unstuck, you've got to decide that the behavior pattern that you have adopted doesn't work for you. You've got to change your strategies, and changing your strategy means reinventing your life. Recreating you, and you have the power to do that. You can decide that you're going to change, that you're not going to be a wimp. You can decide that I'm going to live each day as if it were my last. You have the power to make that decision. You can decide I'm going to work on myself and develop myself. I'm going to empower me. And all of these things that are happening to me right now, They're just temporary inconveniences. They're not stronger than I am. I'm in charge here.